Well, you know, Kamala Harris had to chime in and defend the rioters and the criminals and say it's all Trump's fault. Like the video right here. And check this out.
Senator Tom Cotton is chairman of the Intelligence Committee. Great to have you here. A fellow senator of yours, but a Democrat, Cory Booker, thinks that this is too much. Watch.
For the president to do this when it wasn't requested, breaking with generations of tradition, is only going to incite the situation and make things
Cory,
worse.
You sound crazy.
The reality is we
to
see peaceful protests launching in Los Angeles. And again, any violence against police officers should not be accepted. Local authorities can handle that. But remember, a lot of these peaceful protests are being generated because the president of the United States is sowing chaos and confusion.
Now, before I get your take on this, we just remembered on June 3rd, 2020, you wrote an op-ed in the New York Times that caused a little controversy, if you might recall. Tom Cotton, send in the troops. The nation must restore order. The military stands ready. And now here we are again, sir.
Yeah, Dana, what we can't allow in this country is lawless violence against innocent civilians, against property, against federal personnel and federal facilities. I'm not sure what pictures and video Cory Booker saw from Los Angeles, calling it peaceful protests. What I saw was uncontrolled rioting. You had cars being set on fire, law enforcement being pelted with bricks and cement and frozen water bottles. You had people blocking not just city streets, but major highways, and attacks on both local and federal law enforcement. We simply can't allow that. We always hope that the local police are able to control the situation. Sometimes Democratic politicians, like the Democratic mayor in Los Angeles, may not let them control it. But if not, we have a responsibility to protect innocent lives and property in this country. That's what President Trump has said. That's why he called out the National Guard and why he stands ready, if necessary, to use active duty troops under the authority of the Insurrection Act to put an end to this violence. That's why we in Congress are acting as well. I'm introducing legislation that will increase penalties for rioters or those who attack law enforcement, that would make it a deportable offense to engage in such crimes. And our big plan, not just to prevent the largest tax increase in history, but to provide ICE and immigration authorities with the money and the resources they need to continue to secure our border and to deport violent, illegal criminals.
Sir, it seems much of the Democratic reaction, I mean, the words sometimes are almost the same. You just heard Cory Booker talk about chaos and confusion and blame it on Donald Trump. Kamala Harris made a rare public statement. She said deploying the National Guard's a dangerous escalation meant to provoke chaos. There's that word again. In addition to recent ICE raids in Southern California across the country, it's part of the Trump administration's cruel, calculated agenda to spread panic and division. There's the phrase again. What happens now? If it's Los Angeles today, soon it'll be Chicago, maybe New York. What are we in for nationally, do you think?
Well, Bill, the Los Angeles Police Department chief has said his officers are overwhelmed. If that's the case, the Democratic mayor and governor of California need to step in and use the National Guard and other law enforcement to help the LAPD restore order. But Kamala Harris talks about danger and chaos. That's what she and Joe Biden presided over for 4 years when we had a slow motion invasion of this country. In the election last year, the American people voted to secure our border and to deport illegal aliens, especially violent criminals of the kind that were apprehended in California late last week. It's not provocative to enforce federal law. It's not provocative to do what President Trump campaigned on. What's provocative is to have all of these illegal aliens setting cars on fire while they wave the flags of foreign countries and now being joined by professional agitators from Antifa or pro-Hamas sympathizers. That has to stop. President Trump is committed that it's going to stop today. If Democratic mayors and governors can't do it, then the federal government will have to.